is alakíthatsz rajta később. Csak azért, hogy már itt legyenek.
So I'm Tamás Kaszá from Hungary, and I'm an artist. I was studying in the intermediate department, which can maybe explain that I work with different mediums, so I don't have a specific medium, but I build installations. Sometimes I make actions or drawings or also videos. So really I use almost every kind of techniques, traditional or more contemporary. And often I work in collaborations with different people. Some of these collaborations are permanent, some of them are just temporary. And right now I also work together with a colleague, a friend called Eniko Lóránt. She was also studying on the intermediate department. And actually we were together before, like girlfriend and boyfriend, but after our break we started to work together. So it's a special collaboration in this way. And this time we on this show now there will be some of my own work, like 2 slide projections inside the room and one object here. But otherwise, this noteboard, what we can see here, this is the collaborative part of this show now. And somehow, however, these artworks, what I mentioned, they are autonomous, and also many of these drawings exist also as an autonomous artwork, but somehow we put together them here into one installation, like one artwork. And the topic of, or even the title of this installation, or this how these things are put together, we call them forest school, which is the forest school a bit sounds like a scout camp thing, but it's really not like that. It's more a bit more wide and more radical thing on what we are thinking. And the idea is that we can hear a lot about the economical collapse and also ecological collapse, and somehow we started to think that what if this became really serious in the close future, because somehow we are not so optimistic about the situation in the world now, and we started to think that how we could survive after a real collapse, which really can happen, and we think that those who can survive in nature, who knows those plants which are eatable, who can produce food by themselves, those people has bigger chance to survive. But and the forest school a bit about this, so about the skills, how to be in nature and how to live in a natural way. But this has a more poetic and spiritual side, of course, also. So we say that it's not something very just about knowledge and skills in the forest, but it's also the people who want to survive in nature. They have to understand the poetics of the nature, I could say like this. So this more spiritual side and the structure of the life. And so we didn't put only drawings, but a lot of texts. And like for example this here, which is an exercise with the forest, what people has to do. For example, this says that go to the forest at springtime and to live through how the nature start to born. And also there is another exercise for the autumn, to walk and to feel how it's dying down. And with this exercise we can prepare ourselves for summer and for winter, to really understand how the nature is working, and also the human as a part of nature. And of course many of these texts is not written by us. I mean, we simplify texts and write down in our own way, but originally many of these texts are kind of plagiates from other authors. Like for example this exercise, it's originally coming from Rudolf Steiner, but also there is text which is quite connected to Thoreau's book The Walden, which is quite famous, but there are some other, like Hakim Bey, this anarchist writer, or else. And it's also, we don't really, so these are not quotations, and we don't mention these names because it's not important for us, the names, but more the information, what it gives. And with the drawings, I think on many of the drawings we can see some kind of research, or what we call research of the patterns of the nature. Like a bit on this, maybe we can see such thing, or maybe here, if you can see this drawing, and or this one. I think this is a quite good example for this. And for example, this drawing was made after digital photos, and this big part is a tree which in what there was a stone, so the tree was growing around the stone, and we often, when we are in nature, we collect pictures about these small details or bigger structures also, and after with digital pencil I make drawings. That's my method actually. Eniko work on different way, but I think the aim is the same somehow. And these animals were from another picture, and also another digital drawing. And I play with these digital drawings because they are just lines in the computer, and this way I can make montages, kind of transparent montages, and I can recycle the details and build up new and new drawings. But the aim of this is to this research of the patterns, and because somehow we think that people used to say that the surface is just hiding the main point or the real important things, but we think that the surface not definitely hide it, at least in nature. It's also can express it somehow. So in these patterns of a cover of a tree or the vein or what else, or a pattern on an animal, we think that these patterns somehow express something which is inside, so it's not hiding, and on these many of these drawings is looking for these patterns. What you can see here, these a bit anthropomorphic animals and with weapons, and so with the forest school, it's the idea is like it would be, or fiction is like there would be a movement, a small group of people who start to make these exercises. And we made a little booklet with text and drawings, and the booklet is looking like a fanzine from this movement, and it's connected, for example, to this kind of animals which are warriors in the same time, and we call them kind of animal warriors who are angry on human and try to defend themselves and defend nature. So it's a bit connected to this idea, but for example here, human with the flowers, it's quite connected to Buddhist philosophy, or philosophy. Buddhism is philosophy for the West Europeans, but not philosophy for the East people. But this is connected, for example, when Buddha showed instead of teaching, he just showed the flower for the people, and only one person could understood from the mass. So the object is also on the first level connected to this research of the patterns and forms of nature, which are always an inspiration source for artists. So it's not really a new thing in this way. But we also, when we go to forest, we collect small interesting things, and sometimes drawings come after, sometimes not. Sometimes we also combine these natural objects with human-made or artificial objects, and we build up small sculpture-like things, mostly for ourselves at home. So originally many of these were not made for an exhibition, just when this forest school idea started to build up, and we decided to build it here, because this is the first time when it exists in this form. We thought that we could use these objects, what we collected, for ourselves. So in the small room, there will be 2 slide projections, which are mine work, and one of the projections are from, both projections are from 80 slides, because I use this usual carousel form. And one of the slides are a separate project originally, that I call it narrative. I mean, it's just kind of work title for myself. And I use that form, what was very common in East Europe in the 70s, 80s. When I was child, we had a special kind of slide projector in what there were no slides, but the film was in roll, and you had to turn it down the pictures. But it's not like movie. There were nothing moving. You just changed the frame by rolling the film, and each picture after each other told a story. And usually when I was child, my parents did it at the evening before sleeping, that projected a tail, and always under each picture there is a text. This is the form of this, but they were war stories, and once we used this form with a friend called Christian Christoph. We have a group called Random Routines, and we made a tale with the same format, let's say, but of course we work with digital camera and so on. And after we had the plan to make a film again like this, and we just started to collect pictures, and I created a blog on the internet where I always put these fragments of a story, and it never became a real story. Somehow this project faded, but I still make these fragments time to time. And the other projection are photos from the nature. Many of those, but I use also for the drawings. And that was originally, I just collected these pictures for myself. It didn't exist as an art project, but later I thought that it could be something like a dogma in the nature photo, like there is this dogma in the film, like not to use these very professional techniques and very expensive techniques and lamps and sun, but just the easy things. And I also just have a small digital camera which has very good macro, and so it's a good camera actually, but very easy to go for excursion with it. It's not a big zoom or something like this. And in nature or on the photos, it's also important for me that we can see the person who takes the photo on that way, that often I just hold an object like a leaf or a stone or something what I found in nature, and I take the picture. And with the hand, it's a totally different situation. We can feel that somebody is really there in the nature. It's not just somewhere outside. And also the same with the animals, where it's important for me that I meet with the animals. So it's not just I'm hidden somewhere and I have a huge zoom and like a voyeur, but more there is the meeting. And on many of the photos you can see that the animal watching into the camera. And of course the quality often not so good because of the situation, but somehow still it's working, I think. And I will project them parallel with automatics, but with a bit different time. And this way the narratives and these nature photos always came up in different pairs or couples. And I think for me it's quite interesting, because once I already did this, and somehow it was quite inspiring how these pairs came up and how I could connect them, the narratives and these nature photos. So that's the idea.